up, y'all? It's KB, and I love movies. Thanks for joining us tonight. Happy Friday. I went back to a new gig this week, so I'm appreciating what it is to come to a Friday evening and do that. So it was a good week, and just glad to end it off with a nice little conversation here tonight. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and feel free to hit the like button and also to subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so already. It is highly appreciated. Tonight, I'm trying to remember. I think it was going back to 4K D-Ray's movie collection battle about almost a year ago that I first came across our guest tonight, and just seemed like a cool dude, had a nice collection. The picks that he were making, I was saying I would make that pick too. And I just said I don't always see him like on YouTube. I follow him on Instagram as well, but I said, you know what? I want to definitely have a conversation with him, which is usually all the motivation I need to make these requests. So joining us tonight, we got Big Knack 007, aka Robert. What is going on, my friend?
Hi, KB.
How's it
Thank you
going?
for having me. Appreciate it.
Glad to have you.
It's a
Glad to
pleasure.
have you. Yeah, man, we're just gonna get into it. Like we always do, we're gonna start off with the
Okay.
non-movie question. We'll get into the movie stuff. I know you're out in California, so we'll definitely incorporate that a little bit.
Okay.
And I know you have a love for horror movies, so you know, we were talking backstage about me at Panic Fest last weekend, which is primarily a horror movie film festival. So
Awesome.
um, yeah, we'll definitely talk some horror movies and stuff. But let's check to see who's joining us in the chat tonight,
All right.
and then we'll get going. As always, we got Adrian James in the check-in saying hello. Good evening to you.
Adrian.
We got What's Johnny Watching saying yo. We got Emmett joining us. Hey there.
Emmett.
We got Mr. Tony from Basement
Hey.
Blues. Good evening. Happy Friday to you, sir. We got Jared Runner saying howdy.
Oh,
What's
Jared.
going on? We got Michael joining us. He's another one out there in the California area
Oh,
close
okay,
to you.
Michael.
Yeah. Also big on autographs. Someone to talk to if you want to talk
Oh,
autographs. We got Laren saying happy Friday.
Aaron.
Happy Friday to you as well.
Friday.
We got Eddie Films and Stuff. What's up, Eddie? Thanks
Eddie.
for joining us. Yeah, Lance. Thanks for coming back tonight. What are you watching today? Watching Shrek and then Fat Albert. Going with the kids' movies.
Oh,
I hear that. Good choices. Good
that's old
choices.
school Fat Albert. I remember that.
I know. And it's so funny to see Keenan Thompson on Saturday Night Live all these years. And a lot of people know him from Fat Albert or Good Burger,
You're right.
all
Right.
that. So it's pretty cool. We got people saying hi to each other. We got Mizzy in the house. What's going on?
Busy.
Who else joining us? People saying hi to each other. Yeah, man. Thank you, everyone in the chat, for joining us tonight. It's highly appreciated, especially on a Friday. I know this is a big Friday for movies. People are going to see Evil Dead Rise and hanging out with family and friends. So we appreciate you joining us this evening for this for a little while. Yeah. So let me start with my non-movie question, and it has a little bit to do with what you were talking about and living in LA. I'm getting ready to, well, I'm planning a trip to LA, and I have some things on my to-do list. If someone like a movie lover like myself and you were coming out to, oh, we lost Robert. Okay, we'll wait for him to jump back in here. Uh, yeah, let's see what's going on in the chat. Hello from Taiwan. First time in the chat here for me. Gangshi, thank you for joining us. You all right there?
I don't know what happened right there. I'm sorry.
No problem, man. Glad you're
I,
back.
I, I looked at my my router, right, and it
Hmm.
seems I don't know what happened. It
Did it just
just
go
went
all
blank.
red?
Usually when it's blinking, it turned off, but it was it's a solid white light there. I don't know what's going on. You
Yeah.
know what? I noticed my phone Wi-Fi was. You know what? It must have. I'm sorry. It must have just shut off. It must have been that Spectrum internet.
As long as you're okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Spectrum.
Oh,
That's
that scared me. Sorry.
yeah.
Well,
Glad you're back. So Eddie is going to see Evil Dead Rise in a bit. Well, thanks for hanging out with us for a little while. We got the monkey in the house, acknowledging your championship.
all right.
Oh, hey, Michael, there's always a replay. Go see Evil Dead Rise. You don't have to hang with us. I think movies always trumps conversation in these cases, but yeah,
Yeah, you don't
he
want to
is
get
in.
spoiled or
Yeah, that's the thing, especially with horror movies, and I would say like superhero movies too. He's in LA.
yeah. Oh, okay.
Let's see. Everyone's saying enjoy Rise. We got Hall and Oates joining us. It's Big Mac from the battle. That's what I remember him from as well. Yeah,
Oh, thanks. Thanks, Alan.
that was a good one. All right.
That was.
So what I was saying is I'm planning a trip to LA, and
Oh, great.
as a fellow movie lover, what are some things you would recommend that I definitely have to do or see or go to?
I say check out the Universal Studios Hollywood. That's a
Hmm.
neat thing to do. I haven't been down in a while, but I remember right before last time I went there was about probably like 6, 7 years, about 7, 8 years ago. Right before they had the Fast and Furious attraction, but it's always
Uh-huh.
neat. You never know what they're filming down there, and kind of give you like behind the scenes, of the, when they do a film and all that, and that's kind of neat to do.
Yeah.
And also, I haven't been there myself. I've been meaning to. I believe the city of Pasadena is the home of the actual Michael Myers house from 1978,
Oh
and it's
yeah.
still there. And I think a few doors down, it is a museum dedicated to Halloween and all that.
Nice.
So
Nice.
near Halloween, they'll display some from local artists and so forth, and exhibits
Hmm.
and Halloween memorabilia from the film and stuff like that over there. And I think in the evening they'll have a screening for Halloween in the backyard and all that. So
That's fun.
yeah,
That's
I
fun.
think it's
I
called
like that.
Sugar something Gallery. I think if I remember something like
Hmm.
that. They host that. That's another place too. And yeah, there's a whole bunch of things, and yeah, you can do. And what else? And also we're home for the location for the Fast and Furious movies, the Toretto House.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
near Dodger Stadium, and the little what do you call market he had in the movie. That's also down there.
Hmm. I was also thinking, someone sent me the address for the the Nightmare on Elm Street house, Nancy's house, and I was
Oh,
thinking
yeah, I
about
forgot
checking
about
that
that.
out. Yeah, I'd like to see that. That'd be cool. That would
And,
definitely be cool.
and of course, like you go down to Hollywood, you can see the stars on the sidewalk there, and
Hmm.
the footprints at used to be the Man's Roman Chinese Theater back in the day. Now it's TCL theater now.
Yeah, I saw that change the name. It's still Grumman's Chinese Theater to me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's like,
The last time I went there was when Force Awakens was playing there,
oh, nice. Yeah.
and
I
I saw the IMAX 3D, and I saw the footprints and all that, and they had costumes from Force Awakens and all that. That was neat.
Yeah. I have my list here. I'll go through it quickly. So the Academy Museum, Hollywood Walk of Fame, see a movie at Grumman's Chinese Theater, go to the Dolby Theater next door to do the tour, try to sneak an overnight trip to San Francisco to do the Hitchcock tour because I'm a big Hitchcock guy. Union Station, the different studio tours, try to see a movie at the New Beverly Cinema, and visit the Margaret Herrick Library. So that's what I have so far. But I know
That's a heck of a list right there.
I know as time goes by, I'm gonna add a
That's
few more things.
awesome.
And I didn't even get around to food. You know, there's food places I want to visit
Oh,
out
yeah,
there.
I know quite a few too.
Yeah.
When you mentioned the going back to the Beverly Theater,
Hmm.
obviously we know that's Quentin Tarantino's theater,
Yep.
but you never know. He might show up unannounced.
Yeah.
There have been Quentin Tarantino sightings there. I heard. Never been
I
there yet.
I would like him just to show the whole bloody affair and see Kill Bill 1 and 2 together.
Yeah,
I
that
don't
would
even
be awesome.
need to see him. I just want
Yeah.
to see that. We got Jerry in the check-in saying, "What's up?" Talk about movie battle collection. We got
Oh,
4K D Ray in the house. What's up, brother?
4K.
We got Tony P in the house saying hello.
Tony,
What's going on?
how you doing?
Yeah, thank you once again, everyone, for joining us. Um, yeah, Michael says he's been to the Dolby Theater and the New Beverly, and he's
Oh,
been to the
wow.
New Beverly many times. And he met Tarantino, he says. He spoke to him there once. Very cool.
Oh, man, I'm jealous, Michael.
Yeah. All right, let's get into the movie stuff. That's what
All
the
right.
people came to see and hear. So, um, first thing I wanted to say is I know you're a big fan of this movie.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
So, I wanted to find out what you thought about this, and did you pick it up this week?
Oh,
The remake.
the remake. You know what? For what it was, I did enjoy the 2011 thing. I
Hmm.
didn't pick it up. I have the actual original release on Blu-ray.
Yeah,
I didn't, and I like the way they. You know what? Yeah, the CGI is kind of questionable sometimes, but
yeah.
the tension is there. Um, Meredith Winstead, she's awesome in the
She's
movie.
amazing. I love her.
And I like it. I like it for those who spoiler alert, didn't see it yet, but
No, 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 don't say it. Don't say
well,
it.
okay, okay.
Spoiler
Let's
time.
okay, okay.
Go ahead if you want to say it now.
All right, okay. So it kind of it connects with the events from the 1982 John Carpenter film. That's what I meant to
Hmm.
say.
Yeah, plays like a prequel almost.
Yeah,
All
that
right.
was kind of I saw it in the theater originally. And that was kind of a neat surprise. I thought,
Yeah,
oh
I
wow,
thought
that's a
so too.
yeah.
It like
I enjoyed it. And it's
connecting.
kind of getting a second resurrection because it's on Netflix, I believe. So
Yeah.
people are discovering that.
And as collectors, a lot of people really won't pay attention to an older movie unless it comes out in a new Blu-ray like this did or 4K upgrade. So I'm glad this came out. I didn't
Yeah,
have it before, so I was glad to add it to the collection, and I'm glad that a lot of people will get a chance to see it. It's always hard to try to avoid comparing the original,
yeah.
but if you take it just as it is for the majority of the movie, and then at the end you bring it back around to 82's, it's a nice thing.
You know what I heard about the thing, the 2011
Hmm.
version release? There is a version out there. You're not gonna. They use practical effects originally.
And then they overdid it with CGI.
Yes,
Yeah, that's terrible. All
and I
right,
don't think we're
spoiler
gonna
talk
see it.
over.
Yeah, I don't
Spoiler
think we're
talk
gonna see
over.
a director's cut, but
No, no, we won't see a director's cut, unfortunately. We had some people jump in while we were
hey,
talking. What up, Trini?
hey, culture.
Salute. Michael said he does the whole bloody affair at midnight. I will definitely catch up on
Oh
that.
wow.
Don't forget to Hulk smash that like button. Thank you, Johnny. Uh, yeah. I said, how many times have I been on a live stream and then out of nowhere they start talking spoilers and I'm like, oh, I wish I had a warning or something. So I made my
I'm
own
glad you
warning.
stopped me there. Thank you.
Just for a second, just for a second. Oh man. Um, yeah. So talking about releases, recent releases, are you big on this movie and did you get this release or the
Oh,
second sight one?
yes, I did. I got the the steelbook on that one.
Oh, okay. The Blu-ray one?
Yeah, yes, I did. And I also have the NECA figure too of
Yeah. So
Leatherface too.
do you hold that movie in a high esteem as far as like classic horror movies?
Oh yes, definitely. Yeah.
I originally when I for the first time last year I watched it in completion and I did not like it. But you know, I always tell people whether you're watching a movie from the 80s, 70s, 60s, 30s, if it's older than you, try to take note of the time at which it was being made and the things
Yes.
that were taking place around it. Horror movies in the 60s suck, with the exception of things like Psycho, but like late 60s going into the 70s,
Right.
they didn't have a lot of them. So, you know, overseas you had a lot of things, but nothing on stateside. So to have something like
Right.
this come out and Black Christmas and then Jaws and Exorcist and everything that followed,
Right.
this was it was landmark. So as I watch it more and more, and definitely the new feature-length documentary that's on here talking about the legacy and everything, you start to
Right.
appreciate it more. I still think the characters are annoying, but I think they're meant to be.
Yeah.
But
Me too.
I
Yeah. Exactly.
I'm starting to come around to it, you know, the same way I like Black Christmas, the same way I like Jaws and everything like that. It's like you start to get a better appreciation for it
Right.
as well.
I just saw Black Christmas recently. I think around November. For the first time,
Mhm.
I streamed it on Peacock.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I
What you
loved it.
think?
I loved it. You could see where all these slasher origins came place. The tropes and all that. I
Mhm.
like Scream. It has a little bit of where they got maybe Wes Craven saw that. Maybe that's where he got Scream with the phone calls and all that
Yep.
to to the
Yep.
calling the girls. Threatening them
Yeah.
over the phone and all that. I seen that in there.
There's
Yeah, I really
another
enjoyed it.
movie there's another movie called When a Stranger Calls,
Right,
and it kinda incorporates that as well. So, yeah, you're right. Between those 2 movies, I could see where, Wes Craven came up for the influence for the slasher calling on the phone and all that, but very true, very true. Uh, yeah, right now it's just in the planning stage, Michael, but yeah, I'll let you know. He wants to know
oh,
where you're from, what part of
yeah,
California.
I'm in the Inland Empire area, Michael. I'm in Fontana, City of Fontana here, in
There
California.
you go. Uh, just carry on here. What did you think about Cocaine Bear? I know you saw that.
You know, I don't know what it was. I tried to I seen it in the theater.
Mhm.
I just couldn't get into that movie for some reason. Maybe you know what it was? Maybe that
What's that?
CGI bear. Maybe
Mhm.
I know
And
it's
that's why I bring it up because 'cause we're talking about practical versus CGI in movies and the difference it can make. I mean, I didn't expect them to get a real bear for these
yeah, I didn't
scenes,
either,
but
but I don't know what it
yeah.
is. It just threw me off a little when you're looking at it.
Mhm.
Um, I just I don't think I like the way it was the pacing of it. It was more I didn't it wasn't what I was expecting. I was expecting
Yeah.
kind of it's a little bit more. I know it's kind of outrageous the whole story, but
Mhm.
it was more like a comedy. I thought.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think if people knew that going in, if they were expecting a horror movie and they got a comedy, they're like, but I feel like knowing I didn't expect Elizabeth Banks to make a horror movie, so
Yeah,
I knew it would be a comedy, and it has elements of, like, those cheesy 80s made for TV movies that they used
It
to put
does.
on, all the way down to the synthesizer and everything. Um, but I feel like I was in on the joke, and I couldn't explain to anybody why this was like more of a joke than like supposed to be real. Um, yeah,
Right.
but
Yeah.
it was funny. Uh, Tony says he enjoyed it. I think you have to be in on the joke to really
Yeah.
enjoy it.
What was good about it too is we got to see Ray Liotta one more time.
Yeah,
MLA.
yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
that was good. That was a saving grace for that.
I thought the CGI bear was better in the writing. Very true. Very true. The writing was probably the worst part of the movie. But
Yeah, exactly.
and
Yeah.
too many characters. Too many characters. People saying hi to
Oh yeah.
Mel. What's up, Ben? Thank you for joining us tonight. We're just hanging out. It's Friday. We ain't got nowhere to be, nothing to do. So we're just hanging out and talking some movies. Um, as far as, well, you didn't like it, so you probably won't pick it up on physical, but
No.
do you think we need a 4K release? Like, I see it came out over in the UK on 4K, but not here. And like certain studios are starting to do that more and
Yeah.
more, I notice. I like I don't know if we're gonna get a 4K for Renfield when that comes out, but that definitely needs a 4K.
It's a I believe this, can be like, even though I didn't like the film, but
Hmm.
I believe it should be available, at least the best format possible.
Yeah, especially when the transfer is out there. It's not like they just made it
Right.
for Blu-ray. There's a 4K transfer out there,
Yeah,
so they
it's
should.
so weird. Same thing with Universal's doing that a lot. A Black Phone.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
love
Oh,
Black Phone.
I love Black Phone. That was great.
Just a
That was
Blu-ray. I
great.
got it on a Black Friday for like, $10.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I don't mind paying a 4K for that. I mean, you
Mm-mm.
know, oh
Definitely,
gosh,
I
I don't.
agree.
I hope it doesn't. We're seeing a little trend like that. I think they just don't want to put it out in 4K for some reason.
Sometimes I think like certain studios that also own streaming services are trying to push people to their streaming service. Like you mentioned, Universal, they own Peacock. So if
Yeah,
you take a look at it, Megan, Blu-ray, Black Phone, now Cocaine Bear, maybe Renfield, all Universal titles, more or less. So I don't know if that's a trend. Bobby Blue in the house. What's going on, man?
hey Bob.
Thanks for joining us. He says you are the man.
Oh, thanks, Bob. Kind words. Thank you. No, you are, man. You are.
Jared just said it's been confirmed Renfield is just getting a Blu-ray, and that has excellent
Oh,
sound. I don't know if you guys seen it or if you saw it in a nice
yeah, I
theater,
went to
but
see
this,
it. I loved it.
yeah,
It's
I
just, I don't know.
I don't get it. I don't
I
get
don't
it.
either.
They're they're not really pushing people toward Peacock. They're pushing people away from buying their titles. Anyway, we're talking horror movies and everything. Um, I just got this. I know you got the big one of this, but for the most part, we're
Oh yeah,
talking
great.
horror movies. Um, and back in October, I did a series of like conversations with like different horror lovers and everything. And I ended up asking the same question over and over. So I'll ask it to you.
Okay.
As someone who loves it, what is it about the horror genre that attracts you to it and to the movies?
I think knowing that, like, um, those 2 hours or hour and a half, you're gonna be, you're gonna watch you experience something visceral, something scary, something bloody, something gory, and and you know what you're gonna get, and you want to be thrilled. You want to be entertained for that period of time, and you're gonna come out okay. You know what I mean? And when it's over, you're gonna have a big smile on your face, and that's what it is about horror. You know it it's all special effects, CGI, practical effects, what have you. You're
Hmm.
just in there for a good time. That I think that's what it is about horror. You don't want to happen to you in real life, but you just want to experience it for that short time. You
Yeah,
know.
it's true. Um, I'm trying to think back on a recent theater experience. I'm
Right,
rediscovering my love for seeing a good movie with an awesome audience, and I think when I went to see It Chapter One, I was experiencing exactly what you're talking about. It's like not necessarily a jump scare. I'm not a big fan of jump scares.
right,
I want pure horror. I want to be terrified. I don't want to be jumped. So but there were scenes in that movie where it was like, and then everybody's laughing, and the next scene is already started, and we're still laughing. You know what I mean? It's like
right,
you
exactly.
get scared for a moment, and you laugh it off because it's not real, and it's not really happening to me. On to the next scene.
Right,
So yeah,
exactly.
that stuff is great about the genre. And like I was telling you backstage before we came on, here in Kansas City, uh, the majority of film lovers here are horror movie fanatics. That's why something like Panic
Awesome.
Fest is so successful. So it's like even if you're not into that, you slowly come around to like um, just loving the genre and appreciating the classics. Like I saw From Beyond on Saturday for the first
Oh,
time, and
awesome.
I really liked that. That was fun. Not really a horror movie as far as like it's more like sci-fi horror, but yeah, it was fun. Let's see. Going back to the chat here.
I like that name, Panic Fest too. That's a good name for
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, it's
it's a good name for that.
because it is kind of like that arresting feeling that you get, when you have a good moment. And it's not like something like horrorcore or something like that. So you could have
Right.
other types of movies. Like there were a few sci-fi movies. The last movie we saw was called Eight Found Dead, and it sounds like it would be a horror movie, but it was more like a thriller with horror aspects, which I love that type of movie too. D-Ray says, I don't mind these popcorn flicks not getting 4K treatment off the bat, but yeah, where is Demolition Man and The
Oh,
Fugitive? They both need some 4K love right about now, for real. Especially Demolition Man. I watched that
oh
when
yeah, I agree.
Mid-Level Media had his Stallone month last January, and it was like, I love this movie. I forgot how much I love this movie. It's so
Oh
much fun.
yeah, it is. Yeah.
Jerry says Dawn of the Dead, greatest horror movie of all time.
Yeah,
Definitely up there.
it sure
What's
is.
up, Huck? Huck wants to know your favorite werewolf movie.
Only one comes to mind for me. It's gonna be 1981's American Werewolf in London for me.
You gotta go that way, man. You gotta go that way. Great one.
And I
Uh,
also met last year at Monsterpalooza, the horror con we
mm-hmm.
have here in Pasadena, California. I met David Naughton there.
Nice.
Yeah, and
Nice.
he signed my 4K of Werewolf 4K of American Werewolf in London, and
Oh.
really nice guy. Really nice.
I want Jeepers Creepers Reborn on 4K or I'm done collecting. I don't know, Jerry. You might be done collecting. I seriously doubt Second Sight's gonna pick that up. Maybe Vinegar Syndrome. You never
I
know.
heard about stories about Jeepers Reborn. Not good.
Uh, yeah, not good. Jump scares can be pure horror when the villain shows up. Yeah, but I think it went from being a trope to being something overused and the main way of scaring people in modern horror
Yeah.
movies. I want, like I said, it's to me it's better to have that feeling of being terrified than "Huh." That does nothing for me. Talking about that, my next question will delve into that a little more. Let's just catch up with the chat. That's why I noticed in Smile, lots of jump scares didn't really do anything for me. Same. I like the movie, but I think I like the movie based on what I saw in the trailer more than anything.
Yeah.
Pre- Prefer Reanimator from Beyond. You're not alone. I think most people prefer Reanimator over From
So
Beyond,
too, yeah, I prefer the Omnimeter, yeah, over Beyond.
including Mrs. Barbara Crampton, because I heard her say it last Saturday. Ha
Oh,
ha.
there you go. The lady
Floyd
herself.
House Flicks. What's
Oh,
going on? Salute, my
Floyd.
man. Thank you for joining us. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure to see you. Yes, Hall& Oates is saying it right there. Ah, see? He goes to Monstapalooza as well, so
Oh,
maybe you guys could meet up or something. That'd be cool.
I'm going. I'm going this year too. I think I have a 3 day pass, so
Hmm.
I'm going.
So
I'm going Friday and Sunday, but I'm not sure about Saturday yet.
Saturday is probably going to be a madhouse, huh?
Yeah, so I'm going Friday and Sunday because I kind of spaced out my photo ops. So
Smart,
between
smart.
Robert England and uh, Bruce Campbell, I put them on separate days.
Nice. So, anyone who follows you on Instagram,
Right.
it's down there.
Thank you.
Probably saw that
Appreciate
you're
that.
you're big on cons and all that stuff. I saw you met the Terrifier 2 crew, um, which is pretty cool. I particularly would want to meet one person more than the others if it was me. A few years ago, I know you met some people from the Scream
Yeah,
original
we did. Yeah.
cast. So, what is it about going to conventions that you really love, and how often do you go? All that good stuff.
I'll try to go every few months or so. Some, it's just it's kind of a thrill, or whoever, if it's logistically possible or money wise, financially possible. Sometimes,
Hmm.
it's just the thrill of meeting the creative people behind your favorite films, and just talking to them, asking some questions, and it just puts the icing on the cake. When you meet somebody like John Carpenter, for example, last year, and you just go, wow. And I was wearing a They Live shirt, and he said he liked it. I go, wow. I go, oh, thanks, thank you, sir. And when you meet the creative minds behind it, or the actors or actresses, it just like puts the icing on the cake, like I said, and you just cherish that moment. And I go, wow, I met the horror master himself, John Carpenter, in the flesh.
Hmm.
The director
It
of
is.
Halloween and numerous films, and every person I meet, they're pretty. For the most part, they're very nice, very cordial, and especially what comes to mind is Lauren Olivero from Terrifier 2.
That's who I would want to meet.
He's a real sweetheart too.
Yeah,
Very
that's what
nice.
I get. I get that. Like, just following her on social media and all that. She seems like a sweetheart.
And I also met Damien Leone too, and
Yeah,
he's at the writing stages of Terrifier 3 right now. That's what he's told me.
yeah. I'm
And
amazed at how much I enjoy those films. I mean, like the gore fest stuff, usually not my bag, but
yeah,
something about the way he creates it and the use of the practical effects, which I always appreciate, and not just straight CGI. I could really appreciate that.
he
Um,
said he said he's gonna try to top this
oh my
in
gosh.
Terrifier. What do
All
you,
all I could think about is the bedroom scene and think,
me
how are
too.
you gonna top that?
He said
How
he's
will
going
you
to.
top
So
that?
it's gonna take a look. He doesn't have an ETA when it's gonna finish writing,
Hmm.
but he wants to make it the best he can, and you guys are gonna be impressed, I think.
Yeah.
So
Everybody listen to Mel. She knows what she's talking about.
that's right.
Or as I like to say, thank you for joining us, and definitely give a like and a subscribe to both of us. Um, Go over to Robert's channel on Instagram, give him a follow, post
Yeah,
some good
great.
stuff
Appreciate it.
there. Yeah, Johnny says it here. Terrified 2 really pulled off the practical effects. And I just like the fact that the way they did it was, whereas most horror movies have that moment, what I call the look away. It's like either you as a person, would look away, or they would cut away to something like you might see the knife over the blood splatter, and then they cut
Right.
away. But this one, like, there's no cutaway,
No,
and it's not a simple knife. It's a hack.
You see
So,
everything.
yeah, me too, Jerry. What's up, Mika girl? Thanks for
Mika.
joining us tonight. Um, yeah, I got one more question for you
Sure.
before we get into the five takes. And anybody who knows you will get the reference to this. So, um, I still have yet to see an end of watch t-shirt anywhere, much more one with Funko Pops. But what are some of your favorite cop movies?
Yeah, I think and the watch is up there for me. Also, I just like the Lethal Weapon franchise,
You're fun. Good nostalgia.
and also that Training Day comes to mind.
Good one.
Also, there is a small film. It's called Rampart with Woody Harrelson,
Talk about it.
and
What's it about?
it took place. It doesn't get too much, I don't think, uh, notice, but it's a small drama, and Ned Beatty's in there too. I think he plays like
Hmm.
his. I think he played his father in it, if I'm not mistaken. He has a small supporting role in it, and he plays LAPD police officer in the Rampart division and all that, and where um, there's at the time there was like you know a lot of corruption there, and he's trying to uh, keep his family together and all that, and it was a very good character study too. Not yeah, and Woody,
Yeah,
he's always putting
he's
in a
good
good
in anything he
performance.
does to
Yeah,
me.
check that out if you can. It's called Rampart. So
Yeah, I just wrote it down. The great thing about doing these conversations is I usually get a movie or somebody to follow on Instagram or on YouTube out of this, so that's always good.
there's another one.
What's
I
up,
don't
sis?
um Kara, called it stars Kurt Russell, Ray
Hmm.
Liotta, and Madeline Stowe from 1982.
Yes,
Unlawful Entry.
yes, yes. I love that movie. Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
that was one of those. I used to work in a video store, and it's like, you probably don't want to have like rated R movies playing while kids are coming in and out, but like in the daytime when I knew they'd be in school, that's one of the ones that I would always
right.
put in. So good movie, good one. I like that one.
And
Yeah,
that's
Johnny
only
said
available on
Rampart is
DVD.
good.
Oh,
Yeah.
great. Oh,
21 Bridges. That's another good one.
oh, yeah, I forgot about.
Training Day. Yeah, there's Unlawful Entry, great film. And Madeline Stowe is such a great actress. A lot of people
Oh,
don't talk
yeah.
about her anymore,
Oh,
unfortunately.
also another one comes from Internal Affairs with Richard
Yeah,
Gere and Andy Garcia. That was a good
yeah,
thriller too.
definitely. I know that one too. Ooh, that would be fun, Johnny. Lethal Weapon 4K Steelbook box set. I don't know
Something
if
from
Warner
Warner
Brothers
Brothers.
will spring for that.
Yeah,
They're throwing a lot of money at this 100th anniversary. They won't
yeah.
even bring the 4K set to the US. You got to import that bad boy. So, yeah. Kira says Woody Harrelson was great in Three Billboards.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He had that small role in it, but
I,
memorable.
I have that. You know what's weird?
What's
Three
up, Ryan?
Billboards. I haven't
Yeah.
opened it yet. I don't know
Oh,
why.
oh, dude, go watch it tonight.
Oh
Good
yeah, I seen
stuff.
it already in theater. I have the 4K. Believe it or not,
Mm-hmm.
I
You
heard
should.
that's hard to get.
Yeah. Uh, 12 Monkeys, Revenge, Bad Girls,
Oh
good
yeah, that's
stuff.
right.
Last of the Mohicans,
Gosh, what
yeah.
happened to Madeline Stowe?
Man, y'all need to go find some Madeline Stone and give her some love, man.
Yeah,
Give
what
her her
happened?
flowers. Great
Yeah,
actress. All right. While you take a sip, you ready for the five takes?
yeah. Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right. Let's start with number one. Name the film that made you fall in love with the movies.
I think the most uh, the memory I have that that did it for me was Star Wars: A New Hope in back in '77. I was 10 years old then. My cousin, I goes took me and he goes, "Hey, let's go to the movies." And he took. I don't even know what Star Wars was. At when he, what is this? Oh, it's then he's it's about a I don't know like then it's about a space or something. Okay, and you see I go Chewbacca. What the heck is that? So I don't know what I was going into. I remember it was a city. I believe in Torrance, California. It's not there anymore. It was so weird. I don't know how I know all these details where I seen it. It was a place called the Old Town Strip Mall there, and I was just waiting with everybody else, and and then when I came out of there, I was like, oh my goodness, so this is I gotta see. I got it. It made me fall in love with the theater, and I've been going ever since. I think I go at least every week.
Man, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's to me, that's love for Star Wars right there. I love that.
Yeah,
Um, wow.
and I remember like like then we heard about Empire Strikes Back, right, coming
Mm-hmm.
out, and like back then when I was a kid, we didn't have no online reservations or anything like that.
No, you had to get to the theater to get a
So I
seat,
bike
not an
down there,
assigned seat,
yeah, my
a
local
seat.
theater, and I whoever get they we go whoever gets there first get a seat, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Chained up my bike, and then all the other guys came down, and we had a good old time. After all said and done, we go to the local pizza place and buy
And
ourselves
talk
a
about it.
pepperoni pizza. Talk about it.
Yep. Yep.
They give you the
Uh,
little rectangular uh, ticket stubs right there back in the day.
mm-hmm. I still got some somewhere,
Yeah, I
just
do too. I think
save them.
somewhere. I did something
Um,
bad, and I don't know if I could. You know what I used to do? I saw R-rated movies ahead of my time. What I did was buy a ticket for a PG movie and sneak
and
into
then
the. Yeah,
yeah. And
God,
it's
I
as
think
long as you sat up and you look like you belong, the ushers didn't bother you. You remember
no.
ushers?
Oh, remember
We
that?
don't
Yeah.
have ushers anymore.
You
I'm
know what
gonna
I miss too? What
what's
they
that?
used to do is, I think the TLC theater still does it. The theater, the curtains down all the way until
Hmm.
the movie starts.
And then it was like a grand opening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then it goes up again. Then the trailers play, right? Like we do
Hmm.
now. But you know what they do? They put the curtains down again after the trailers are over. Then the main attraction. Then they
Yeah.
go up back up again. Can we have
The
that again?
the theater that we were at for Panic Fest, they actually have like the old school dark red curtains, kind of like what I have on the graphic here.
Yeah,
And they have this big statue on the side with all these cogwheels, all these gears, and
right.
it's almost like the guy is cranking the cogs and that opens up the curtains, and then they show like old school concession stand trailers, and then the same our feature presentation that Tarantino uses, they show that, and then the movie starts. And like if you go, um it actually has like like I went to see the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, and they would show like old school trailers. So like I don't know if you remember, but it seemed like almost every time there was a Nightmare on Elm Street movie, there was a Jason movie being
Yeah,
or coming right after it. So we kept seeing like Friday the 13th part 2 or part 3, 3D, and they would show the trailers of that time for each one. So it's a beautiful piece of nostalgia here. Some good comments in the chat. I'm just going to pop them up real quick.
okay.
Um, so yes, Tony says, I am your age, Big Mac. I still remember the theaters I went to as a kid, very vivid
Oh,
memories. Same thing as me. And same thing as Huck. He said, I'm from your era, Robert. When I got to the theater, you still had to run and grab the best seat you could find. I like the convenience of assigned seating now, but I miss the thing where you would see people online for a movie. like a Star Wars, like an
Right.
Exorcist, like Rocky. I remember when I went to see Rocky, we had to wait 2 weeks because every time we went to see it, it was sold out.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, yeah, it's nuts back then.
Thanks for joining us, Geeks and Flicks. I know you know this guy because I saw him
Oh,
repping your shirt. So thank you for joining us and popping in here.
well,
Um, I know Mel, she had a great Panic Fest recap video. So any of you who haven't seen that, go over to my Killer podcast and check it out. Basically, talking about how her and the Rad Pack had a great time here in Kansas City and how I became her manager. Their manager, I should say. I'm now the official Rad Pack manager.
yeah, I heard.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, Ben says he misses skating rinks too. Yep, we're getting nostalgic here.
Oh
Love
yeah,
it,
we are.
love it. Geeks, New Jersey, stand up. There's a dog. It's somebody's
Yeah.
home. We got 4K Media guy. Yes, sir. It's the homie.
Oh, I know 4K Media.
Mel Screenland also has Rex Manning. Yes, a lot of standees all over the place. So there's a Rex Manning one. There's a Freddy Krueger one. Now there's a Renfield one. So really good, really good. People still talking about Madeline Stowe. I love that. East Coast rapper.
You know about the standees? You know, there. I saw one being put up, and I was talking to that person. There's
Hmm.
people actually put standees up, and they go to theater. I
Yeah,
didn't realize
yeah.
that.
They're hired by the studios to do that. Isn't that
That's kind of
amazing?
neat. And everybody at the theater fights for it after the movie's done.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
to
I was
take it
gonna
home.
ask them for a poster when I was leaving the last night of the festival. They're turning my childhood theater into a damn Hard Rock hotel. Cry every time I pass it. That happened to
Oh,
me. The multiplex, the first multiplex I used to go to when I was a teenager, they turned it into a freaking Walgreens. And
oh,
this thing is like, it could have been deemed a historic landmark because it used to be like, it goes all the way back to the time of vaudeville. And the
oh,
side
wow.
entrance where they used to show the rated R movies, they were slick. I couldn't sneak in the way you did because what they did was they had the PG and PG-13 movies in the main one, and then they would always have one rated R movie on the side one that was separate. So I still remember I
Oh,
couldn't
yeah.
get in to see RoboCop, and I really wanted to see RoboCop, but that was in the side theater. So instead, I had to go and see Dirty Dancing again.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see Return of the Jedi in theaters for the anniversary. Cool. Are you guys gonna see it? I'm gonna try to. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I'm
try to
gonna go
see
see
it.
it.
Let's see. We're going back and forth, East Coast, West Coast. Y'all saw what happened to Biggie and Tupac. Keep it clean. Um, talking about the Sandy rep. I want that job. Might keep a few for myself. Hey, you wouldn't be wrong. Uh,
Oh,
you
yeah,
just
that's
gotta
nice.
find room for it. Let's see. Let's go back to the questions. Number two, name five of your favorite films. Not the five, just five of.
Okay. I'm gonna go um 5 Escape from New York. This top by
Show,
Mike Myers.
show it, show it, show it. I know you got it nearby. Show it.
Oh yeah, and this is signed by John Carpenter himself right here.
Love it, love it. Now, what made you choose that one versus all the other Carpenter films that you could have brought?
That you know, there's he has like a kind of like a vast genre he dove into. Something about this one, it's just for one thing, it's science fiction, action, and
Hmm.
I think just the view of the future, and he's running and Snake Plissken, played by Kurt Russell. You know, it kind of has that Clint Eastwood vibe to it, and he's on the clock. He has, or he's gonna, perish himself, so he's running against the clock, and it's just a lot of tension, and and I just love the score too. Everything
Me
about the
too.
yeah, everything about the film I love, and that's why I picked it out of his something about that.
Yeah. What's your next one?
It's gonna be Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Good one. Good one.
It just uh I remember I went to see it in a city called Hamburg, California, and it used to be in the corner of Atlantic Boulevard and Main Street, but unfortunately, it's all demo. They by now they used to play like uh they only had two screens
Mm.
at the time, yeah. And that now I think it's a parking structure now.
Oh, hate to hear that. I
Yeah.
I I think I begged my parents to see it when I was a kid, and by the time my dad finally agreed and took time off because he was Mr. Working 2 to 3 jobs at all times,
Oh boy.
we had to go, like, to the other side of town, I'll just say,
Okay.
where people don't look like me. I'll just say that. And, I mean, we were there and we got out and it was late and we had to wait for the bus to go home and I'm like, this bus can't come quick enough.
Okay.
It was just like, I do not want to be here. I was fine in the theater, but now that we're outside, I want to go home. I want to go home. But
Right.
yeah, much different than when I went to see Temple of Doom. I just went with my friends to see that. That was great. What's your next movie?
It's gonna be the first Rocky for 1976.
Mm, I almost brought that up here too. The collection, the knockout collection. Yeah, like I said, that was one for me. You know, it took me about 2.5 weeks to see it. We kept going into Manhattan trying to see it in a big
Oh,
theater, but it was always sold out. Um, but yeah, we got to see it. And like I told John from Plat X too, that was the first time I had frozen yogurt in my life because that was like the new
oh,
thing in New York City was frozen yogurt. So I saw Rocky and had frozen yogurt.
I missed that in the theater, but I seen the others two, three, four, five.
Hmm. Oh
Yeah,
yeah, that was like an event when we were kids. It was like
in the theater.
opening weekend. Yeah,
Yeah,
going to see it in the theater. You know, I would say up to Rocky Four. So two, three, four. Those are ones that we had to see in the theater.
and back then, um, God, it's not like now where after a few months it's available to stream. You have to wait a
Hmm.
while to see it on home video. Remember those? You're like a year or
Yeah,
so,
a
maybe.
year, a year.
Yeah, a
I
year, at
mean,
least a year, right?
and by that time you either forgot about it or you really wanted it by that point. It was one
Yeah.
or the other. I remember
Back
that
then, the
for
VHS,
Evil Dead 2. It was like I really wanted it, and I
yeah,
had to wait for it.
I remember VHS back in the day, the new releases, they were like $80 or something like that,
Yeah,
90 bucks.
yeah.
It was
I
crazy.
I lost, talking Carpenter, I lost, Prince of Darkness from my, Blockbuster, and they wanted, like, almost $100 for it. I'm like, "For what?"
Yeah,
I think my
exactly.
fees are less than $80 or $90. I'd rather pay
Oh,
that. And then I found it, like, in the back of my couch cushion, like, about 6 months later, but I never paid it. I never paid the late fees.
I remember those days.
Yeah. 2 more. Give me 2 more.
Okay, we're number 2. I'm gonna go with Star Wars: A New Hope.
Yep, yep, for reasons you already gave, good. And top 1, or the last one?
I'm gonna go with The Godfather, the first one,
Mm,
1972.
now I know you didn't see that in the theater, so that was a
No,
home video thing. Yeah, good stuff, man. All classic selections, great movies for sure. Let's jump right into number 3. Name a classic movie that everybody loves, but for some reason or another you cannot stand.
it's part of a film franchise, but I only saw one of them. Just don't kill me. It's gonna be the Harry Potter franchise.
Ah,
I never got
interesting.
into that. I just seen the first one, and I
Mhm.
don't I just never got into that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's bad. Just one like I never had a a liking for some reason.
Yeah. You're giving into my theory that every generation has its franchise. For us, it was Star Wars. For people in their 30s now, it was Harry Potter. For other people, it was Lord of the Rings, and
Right,
now today it's the MCU. So for everybody who hates on MCU fans, you probably loved Lord of the Rings, or you loved Harry Potter, or you loved Star Wars, or Star Trek, or one of them, or
right,
Rocky, or Rambo. We all had a franchise to love. So,
right. Exactly.
yeah, I hadn't seen any of them until the last one was about to come out, and my kids wanted me to see it. So I went and I bought all the previous ones on Blu-ray
Oh,
and
okay.
watched them the week before, and then I took them to see the part two of Deathly Hollows on the Saturday that it came out. So for the most part, I haven't seen most of them more than once or twice, except Prison of Azkaban. That one is really good, and you don't need to see the other ones. You can just watch
Okay.
that one by itself. So
Maybe one of these
if you,
days I'll give it a chance.
yeah,
Yeah.
just go through it. Should be fun. All right. Boo boo boo. Let's flip that and go to number four. Name a critically hated movie that you love. Being a horror fan, there's a lot of them, but
Yeah, yeah.
give me
This one
one.
isn't horror at all. This is uh it got I looked it up. It had a 23% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's I found it on Blu-ray.
Hmm.
Showgirls.
Yes. I got my
It's
vinegar
so
syndrome order in.
it's yeah, it's coming out on 4K, I think too.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
got that too. Yeah, I think
I'm
Vinegar
looking forward
Syndrome. I
to it.
think
Yeah,
it's so bad that
it's
it's
good.
almost you're watching a train wreck.
It's so bad, it's good.
Yeah, it's so bad. You know what's bizarre about? I remember one scene. Um, what do you Elizabeth Berkeley, like,
Hmm.
what do you call it? It was so odd. She lost. There's a scene she lost her belongings and all that. The guy took off in that pickup truck she hitchhiked with. Then she meets a, 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 that girl in the casino. Then she's asking what's wrong. God, she saved her life. She almost got ran over in the street.
Yeah.
Then it is so weird. Then she tries to hit her or something like that. Then they push her. Then she throws up. I go, that was I didn't expect it. Why is she throwing up? That is so weird. It's things like that that it's so weird that's why I picked that film.
Yeah.
And you got a pretty
Uh,
good cast in there too. But
it is. I mean, by that point, you have to imagine the director is the same person talking about RoboCop that did
yeah,
that one,
Aaron Holden,
and
yeah,
yeah, and Starship Troopers and so forth. So, you have to imagine by then people were fans of his and wanted to work with him. So, you would think that he would get like a good cast to do his movie. Let's see. Going back to the chat.
okay.
Boom, boom, boom. Geeks and Flick says, show your coin collection. Ha
Yeah,
ha ha ha.
well, that's fun.
Yes, Michael, he's a fellow autograph collector. Jerry's never seen a Star Wars or Harry Potter film in his life.
Oh, Jerry.
I'll leave you to the chat, my friend.
Yeah,
What about a movie you honestly found bad? Oh, there's plenty of those, I'm sure. Can you think of any off the top of the head?
someone recently that I don't I think he got like an 80% on Rotten Tomatoes. That
Hmm.
Skidmarink or something like that.
Yeah, Skinamarink. I refuse to like even go that way. Maybe if I'm bored one day I'll watch it, but
I
yeah.
gave it a shot,
Hmm.
and I was about to leave like 20 minutes into the movie. But you know what? I'm gonna give it a chance. I just don't know.
Yeah.
wha-
I need somebody to explain it to me. Maybe have like a running commentary with
Yeah,
it or something.
it was hard to see. You hear like furniture moving, and you hear the two kids like, "Oh,
Yeah.
what's
That
that?"
that does
You know?
nothing for me. Just
Yeah.
like Paranormal Activity does nothing for me. Look,
Okay.
all the showgirls love. So bad it's good.
Yeah.
Star Trek has been his
Okay.
favorite franchise.
Which one? The what is it? The old crew he's
The
been talking
original
about?
series or
Original movies or the
next gen?
their next gen or the with the Chris Pine? Wonder which one he's is he?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, you got a
the
few there.
Geeks and Flicks says time to rethink our relationship.
What? Oh,
I guess he didn't like that answer. What else? Hey, second cousin David is here. Good to see you.
hey,
Uh, People
David.
talking Star Trek. Boom, boom, boom. What's Skinnamarink? Find out. It's a movie.
Yeah, if you dare. Oh boy.
Jared, I heard you have plenty of hot takes. That's why you need to come on here. Hit me on Instagram. Let's set it up. Johnny, I have my own thoughts about Skinamarink, and it doesn't deal with a haunting. Interesting. Yes, and I know Pop Huck is an OG Star Trek fan for sure. All right. Well, I want to thank everyone that's still hanging out here in the chat. So, um, as we get ready to land this plane, just want to make sure that I thank everyone before they hop out. But I want to ask you one more question, and that's number 5. So, who would you like to see me have a conversation with on this channel?
Well, that person was just on there. Uh, Either or both maybe. Alex and Nate from Geeks and Flicks maybe on the channel.
Ah, hey guys, look for me on Instagram, KB Loves Movies, and see if we could set something up. That should be fun.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll get a T-shirt out of it and I'll wear it during our conversation. I'm always up for that. So that'd be cool. Yeah, I'm trying to have more people that, Dell, you're just getting in here, bro. Glad to see you. But yeah,
Oh,
catch a
Dell.
replay. We had fun. Thank you, Gunshi. Thank you for checking in from Taiwan. I love our international watchers, so
Oh,
definitely check in and
thank you.
thank you. Yeah, everyone have a great weekend. Don't summon too many deadites.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Keep that book
Keep
closed.
books that are wrapped in barbed wire and
Yeah, teeth. Yeah.
yeah, keep them wrapped up. Keep them wrapped up. They don't need to be open for sure, for sure. But yeah, I would definitely love to have a conversation with them. I like doing the one-on-ones and the two-on-ones especially, so that should be cool. But in the meantime, I would like to thank you, sir, for spending some time with me
Oh,
this evening. It's been fun. I hope you
yes,
had
man.
fun as
Thank you
well.
for having me, KP.
Yeah, man, no doubt.
Appreciate it.
I do have one request. Start posting some more on YouTube. I wanted to put the YouTube in there, and I'm like, he hasn't posted in so long, man.
Yeah,
You need to
no.
post some stuff on YouTube.
I'll try.
But
Okay.
but in the meantime, everyone can find him at the Instagram. It's right down there, Big Knack
Thank you.
007. So check him out when you can. Give him a follow. And like I always say, everyone have a great weekend and go watch a movie.